Well, after one period of hockey at Boston Garden, it's Boston 2 and Toronto 1. First period shots on goal, Boston 9 and Toronto 4. Back to John Pearson now and his between periods guest, Roger Neilson.
Well, Roger, you're nice to pinch hit for Darryl Sittler, but I can understand Darryl wanting to get a little extra rest after a very physical first period.
That's right. It was one of those games that you never know what's going to happen, but all of a sudden it breaks out. And I know, I think we've got a team now that can play tough with anybody, and everyone knows Boston can. So maybe we're going to get more games like this.
Roger, do you feel that roughness is a necessary prerequisite to winning in the National Hockey League?
Oh, I think so. And even a team like Montreal Canadiens knows that they've got to have some physical players like Chartres, Lupien, Bouchard, and you definitely need that. You also need some good hockey players as well, but yeah, I think it's a necessary ingredient.
And of course that is accentuated, the roughness, by the closer checking, right? A lot of coaches are talking more defensive than offensive play.
Well, I think that you have to check to be a good team, to be a Stanley Cup contender, and I think our team has had the scoring. We just got to play a little tighter and perhaps a little tougher, and Boston do a good job that way. They all work hard and they all check and they finish their checks, and you know, I think probably we've got a little better scoring than they do on our team, but we've got to tighten up our checking a little.
Is that one of the reasons why the Leafs tried to acquire Dan Maloney from the Red Wings, tough, hard-nosed type of player?
No question about it, and we felt we were a little weak physically on the wings, but now on the left side particularly with Maloney and Tiger Williams and Patty Boutette, we're in a lot better shape that way.
Roger, a lot of coaches now are emphasizing defense, as I mentioned before, and back-checking. Do you think that's hampering the freewheeling, high-scoring type of hockey player, or don't you think it makes any difference?
Oh no, if a team is doing their job checking, naturally the game becomes tighter and the freewheelers can't go as well. Take tonight now, a player like Sittler and McDonald, who are probably two best scorers, they have a rough time putting out nice passing plays, and you know, it's a grind them out game, and fortunately they can play that type as well, but it's different than a game where the guys are just freewheeling up and down.
Of course, that's one of the things that Boston or the opposition would look for against Sittler and McDonald, wouldn't it? Try to get them close because they are tremendous scorers.
Oh, there's no question about that. And this is another reason why Dan Maloney is valuable, because the other teams put their checkers out against the Sittler line. They try to get them riled up. They try to get them into fights and so on. Well, you need a big, tough guy to look after them. And it's pretty rough on the good players in the league, the guys like Guy Lafleur, who know they're going to have a checker tailing them all night and aggravating them, and they have to have a lot of patience too.
Roger, you're nice to fill in. I appreciate you taking the time. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you, Johnny.
Roger Neilson, coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and now to Tom Larson.
Between period guests receive a Fioravanti suit by Brookfield, another touch of class from Eastern Coat in Watertown. Tomorrow night's NHL 78 telecast should be of considerable interest. The New York Islanders and the Philadelphia Flyers, two contenders for their divisional title, will meet head-on at the Spectrum tomorrow evening. We'll have